In this review, we're taking a deep dive look at the highly praised Denafreps Aries 2 R2R digital to analog converter. Recently, the folks at Binshide Audio reached out and inquired if I'd be interested in checking out the Denafreps Aries 2, and I jumped at the opportunity. In the audio community, the Aries is considered a unicorn in the $800 USD price range, and I was very eager to hear from myself if all the hype was real. The unboxing experience of the Aries 2 is as bare bones as it gets. Included is a power cord, an authenticity confirmation card, and of course the DAC itself. Taking the Aries out of its packaging for the first time, I was struck by the heft of the unit. If weight is any indication of sound quality, this DAC would certainly not disappoint. The Aries measures in at 8.5 by 9 inches, making this a desktop-friendly piece of gear. The all-metal design is clean and simple with no gimmicks. The front fascia features a sleek row of tactile buttons with corresponding red LEDs which indicates input selection and phase and mute. The second row of LEDs reports the current sample rate of media being played. The unit can be put in standby mode, but it's recommended to leave the unit fully powered 24/7 for best performance. While the front interface is intuitive, this is where some minor quirks of the Aries are revealed. In order to engage the oversampling and non-oversampling modes which this DAC features, a combination of the mute and optical 1 input must be pressed. The same goes for engaging the fast and slow filters. A combo of mute and optical 2 will allow you to cycle through these features. It would be nice to see the filter and sampling modes have their own dedicated buttons. The rear I/O panel of the Aries features standard inputs and outputs for a unit at its price point. The input selection features a USB port and dual optical and coax inputs. The output section includes single-ended RCA connections and a balanced XLR output to connect to an amplifier. Removing the lid of the Aries reveals a large printed circuit board which is home to a capacitor bank and a plethora of resistors. The bulk of the Aries weight is attributed to its O-core shielded AC transformer. What sets the Aries apart from most DACs in its price range is that it uses an R2R ladder DAC network for audio decoding, which is an older type of analog technology that is starting to gain popularity again amongst the audio enthusiast community. Rather than using mass-produced Delta Sigma chips to decode audio signals, the Aries features 2 resistor ladders and a true left and right balanced design that filters the audio signal. R2R DACs are known for having superior instrument positioning accuracy within a soundstage than typical Delta Sigma DACs. Music takes on a more three-dimensional presence and has a live off-the-floor sound. For this review, I used my PC as an audio source via the USB connection. To get Windows to recognize the Aries, a USB driver is required which can be downloaded from the Denafreps website. Installation of the driver is as straightforward as any other peripheral. Denafreps uses a proprietary chipset for its digital inputs, as opposed to standard XMOS chips. The benefit of this proprietary design is that jitter in the audio signal is greatly reduced, but at the cost of higher latency. While music playback is not affected by this added latency, consuming multimedia content such as videos and PC gaming are affected to the point of being unusable. Dialogue and video will be out of sync and will become quickly distracting. Assessing any kind of positional audio cues while gaming is unattainable. Due to this latency, I'd only recommend the Aries as a music decoder in an audio-only setup. When auditioning the Aries 2, I focused on a desktop listening experience, with all testing using 16-bit or 24-bit lossless high-resolution FLAC files. The first track I played through the Aries was Nude by Radiohead, and I was completely blown away. This track showcases all the qualities the Aries excels at. The opening instrumental is lush and rich sounding, with a wide soundstage that pulls you in straight away. After the opening wave of sound dissolves, we're left with a bass guitar and drum kit that sounds lifelike. Thom Yorke's vocals are front and center as if he's in the room with you, combined with a vocal reverb which is to die for. By the end of this track, I knew the Aries was the real deal. Reverb and vocals rendered by the Aries are very natural sounding. As a guitar player, reverb is one of my favorite effects to use while playing, so I'm fairly critical of reverb reproduction in recorded music. Unquestionably, the Aries is the best DAC I've heard in its price range that can resolve convincing and natural sounding reverb. With oversampling mode engaged, I feel there is more definition around the edges of notes. It's not by any means harsh sounding, but just enough to not be fatiguing. The non-oversampling mode by contrast feels less defined around the edges, and has a thinner sound versus with oversampling selected. The mode you'll be drawn to is user preference, but the majority of Aries owners seem to prefer both the slow filter and oversampling modes engaged, and I have to agree. Another standout track during testing was Patrick Watson's Little Moments, a gorgeous blend of acoustic and electronic sounds with a ghostly vocal track. The layers of instrumentation in the soundscape pulls you into the emotion of the song. The Aries presents a soundstage with depth and texture. One attribute of the Aries which really stuck out to me was the clarity and vocals of rap music. Listening to A Few Last Words for the Firing Squad by RTJ, the vocals are delivered with authority and a crisp and clear flow. Overall, the Denafreps Aries 2 has been an absolute joy to listen to, and will be sticking around in my audio setup. I highly recommend it for folks who are looking to upgrade from a budget DAC, or are looking for a live off-the-floor sound. If you found this review helpful, check out my review of the SMSL AO200 amplifier, linked on screen. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.